So, it's on, right? Okay. Today, I'm not sure would be my last training before I have to take. I don't know yet. Maybe we can have a pool, right? Guess what's the day is, right? So my topic is change of identity, right? The SMD run. So basically, it's been a long process for me and Rocky, right? We have joined the business about 5 years, and we have been talking about getting SMD done. And how many of you don't know what SMD means? Okay, good. All right, so we have new blood, right? So SMD means it's a senior marketing director. So it's the permanent position in this business, right? So a lot of people ask, oh, why you want to become SMD? A few reasons, right? Of course, you get a good identity, right? Second, of course, it's a permanent position. So you have more advantage in the business as well. So we have been in the business for a while, and we have been talking about running SMD. Kind of like finally, we are not finalized yet, but we should be okay. We should have everything ready for the promotion. So today, Laurie asked me to share about a little bit of the journey. So that's the topic I'm coming up today. So before I start, I want to have a short video to play. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's about identity. Why I want to play this video? Because there a few years back, there's somebody talk about WFG. They say they use this kind of like metaphor for WFG. They call it WFG is like a gym. So how many of you have a gym membership? So how many of you really go to the gym after you have the membership? Oh, very good, very good. So actually, because right now it's still in February, a lot of people make the New Year resolution is to lose weight, right? I make this New Year resolution as well, right? For myself, I could not do it this year, right? I will do it next year. But a lot of times, like people make the New Year resolution, and then they would join the membership for the gym, right? And so every year in the January, the gym is always packed. But after 2 or 3 weeks, you go there again, it's empty. It's empty, right? So people always think like, once I join the gym membership, I will have a 6-pack. It doesn't happen that way, right? We have to show up at the gym, right? So the same thing for WFG. A lot of people say, oh yes, I joined WFG. Yes, but are you really showing up for trainings, right? So after you start showing up for trainings, are you working on did you really work on your license? After you got your license, have you really gone to field trainings, right? Have you really go out to have families, right? At the end of the day, like I talked to a lot of people, right? If today I sit there, I do nothing, I would not make any money, right? I have to see people, I have to really have families to make money, right? So the same idea. So that's why I want to really play this video. It got me it got me thinking about the business. So I'll just play a little bit of this. Let's see how. Okay.
Do you need a button?
No.
Can you save it to a laptop?
Yeah. Oh, not working? It's okay. I have it here. I have my backup.
It's coming.
So now enough.
So this morning morning I was having my coffee and I was doing some studying, some reading, and I came across this article that just blew my mind. And this article talked about how 4 out of 5 gym memberships go unused. That in fact, gyms are built upon the premise knowing that about 70% of their members won't even come more than once a year. That in fact, they couldn't even handle the capacity if everybody came. They just know that statistics have shown that the majority of people won't follow through, even though they've signed up and are paying for this membership. And it went on to talk about this study that was performed by the University of Scranton, and that they went on to follow and study people that made New Year's resolutions. And what they found was that 23% of the people that they studied had given up on their New Year's resolutions within the first 7 days of the year. Literally about 1 out of 4 had already failed on their commitment within just the first week of the year. And so why is that? Why is it that so many people fail on their own commitments, that they can't follow through on what they started? And the reason why is due to our identity. From the time that we are born until the time that we grow up, we go through a set of life experiences. We experience negative experiences and painful experiences and positive experiences and pleasurable experiences. And we learn about the world and we get taught things. And as we are growing up, we form what is called our identity. And the job of our identity is just to keep us safe and to keep us into what is as familiar. Your identity, all it cares about is keeping you safe and in that familiar zone. And so as you try to create change in your life, and as you try to embark on new commitments and new things that you want to move towards, your identity is going to literally go out of its way to deceive you so that you go back to your old identity. And this is called deception. But the good news is this, is that you can create lasting change. But in order to do this, you literally have to create a new identity. You have to recreate your identity. And in order how to do this, you have to move through the 4 phases.
Okay, so I'm going to stop here because it's a really long video. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I really like what the video is because they talk about change of identity. So what it means is, like I talk about my beginning, right? A lot of people know my background. I started as an accountant, a CPA, right? So it was my old identity. I have no business background. I've never done business in my life. I don't know how business work. And that's how I got started. So I started in February 2015. Sorry. Okay, I go back here. So I started in February, I don't know, February or March 2015. Oh, okay. Okay, good. For me, when I first started, I tell a lot of people, my mind was very simple. I want to deduct some tax. I want to get some tax benefit as a self-employed employer status, right? That's how I got started. But later on, as I go into trainings, I start to feel something, but I didn't know what I felt. It's just I found something that is really interesting in this company. So and then later on, one thing I really like about is the joint own share. The first appointment that really changed my mind about this company or this industry is the appointment that I sat down with Lori to go through my own personal financial planning. I thought I was a CPA, I should have known a lot, right? But after sitting down with Lori for about 2-3 hours, it was really eye-opening for me. So I realized, you know what, there's a lot of things I can do. And I didn't realize that there's so many options available in the market. And I become a client really right away. And also at that time, I joined in February, and the March had their first elite class. So I was like, you know what, I really want to get into the elite class because elite class, they keep talking about elite class. I have no idea what elite class is. One thing I remember Lori said is, you need to go in because the people who teach in elite class, they make $500,000 or more every year. And then I check around my friend circle. Nobody make a 500, $500,000 a year. Most of us make 50,000 a year at that time. So I said, you know what? If they can teach us how to become how to make $500,000 a year, I really need to listen, right? I need to get my way to in, right? So we signed up for the plan, and also I recruited Rocky. That's how I got 3 points in to the ED class, and that's how we got started. And of course, later on, once you get into the ED class, you really feel the leadership of the company. And I remember the first speaker was Jonathan, and at that time I think he's a newly promoted CEO. The way he talked, the way he carried himself, and I compared him to the CEO in the company that I've been working with for 5 years. I said, you know what? He is a much better leader compared to the company I work with, the CEO that I work with. Then I start to have belief in the company, right? So that's how I got started. And later on, I fight for my A promotion and then associate promotion, right? And then we attended the first convention in Las Vegas. That's August 2015. And at the time, I brought Rocky with me. I think that's the best decision ever. Of course, we had a really good time in Vegas, but at the same time, we saw the big picture. How big the company is. You really see the potential. We are not like, of course, now we realize it's not Asian company, right? We have a lot of people from different background, right? So that's how we got started. And of course, later on, we have the become a MD and get the cash flow, right? That's the later on. What I found is the important thing is, first of all, we build from event to event. If I didn't really push myself to my first ED class, I wouldn't think I would stay in this business, because I didn't really see what we can offer, right? So everything is built on step by step. There's no such thing that, oh, today I go to one specific meeting or specific convention, I totally change. It's not like this. It's like something built on step by step, just like climbing the tower or whatever. You have to start from the first step. Once you get to the first step, and then you move on to the second, and then gradually move up to the top. So that's how I feel about the progress, right? And also there's a few reasons that why we want to run for the SMD. The first reason is I'm running out of time. So the good thing is, when you have a deadline, it's really good, right? You have a deadline, you know that you cannot drag. You have to get it done, right? So first of all, if you have your own goal, doesn't matter whether you want to qualify for EC coming up in March, or you want to get your A promotion, or get your 117 done, or get your 30/30, or whatever, or any financial goal. Set a deadline for yourself is really important. It's really important, right? And also, why I want to run for SMD team. Also because I want to help Lori. I know Lori tried to run for EVC, so I want to create more momentum in the team. And also, I want to help my team out as well, right? Because if I don't move up, then the team would not move up, right? So I want to help them as well. And also, Lori has been saying that I've been staying in one level for too long. So I have to really move up to really do something extra, right? To get to the next level, right? So it's for me actually the title doesn't really matter, because I really want to do it is because really for the team, not for really for myself, right? Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to share. This is my first ever ED class. So if you have never been to an ED class, please qualify. It's coming up on March 14, right? So if you don't know how to qualify this year, the qualification is from September to now. In any rolling 30 days, you have 2 points. So what do you mean point? 1 point is you have a recruit, it's 1 point. You have a case, you have a 1 point. Your personal case counted, you have the credit as well, right? Counted as 1 as well. So this is my first ever ED class. This is at the time that's Jonathan teaching at the old office. That's the first time that I met a CEO in WFG. And the way he did the presentation and also the integrity and also the professionalism, it really showed me the hope in the business. So I really, really enjoyed the class, and that's how I got in and keep me continue, right? And the first convention ever I went to with Rocky, so it's been a while. So this year we're gonna have a convention as well, but not August, in June. So if you have not registered, please go register. It will help, really, really help you. It really, really help you. Sorry, what's that? Financial discipline. After joining the company, after joining WFG, we learned that we need to save more money and save for the future, right? So instead of asking him going to a hair salon that's spending $40 every per hair cut, I asked him to go to the one that just outside of our street. At that time, it was $8. Now it's $10. So 11 including tips. Huh? So that's what happened to his hair. So you learn a lot of good things in WFG, right? So this is our first ever convention. I really, really recommend you to go if you have never been to one, because it's really, really eye-opening for you. And also, I last night, Rocky took out these pictures. This picture was taken in 2015. So, so now, Jing Hong and Lucy, SMD, right? Jackie and Cherry, SMD. Jing Jing and Kai, SMD. So we were the last one on the picture. Becoming SMD, so that's why we have to do it. We have to do it, right? And that was the old office, back into the old days in Richmond Hill. Okay, Stumble 4, right? I mentioned earlier, the events are very important. We build by event to event, right? From EC to convention to contest to retreat. Also, as we go to different events, we build our belief, the belief in the self. At the beginning, I never thought that I would do this part-time or even full-time. But slowly, I go into meetings, I go into trainings, I start to realize actually there's a potential for me to change. And that's how I feel maybe in the future I can do it myself, right? And also believe in the company and believe in the team, right? I believe everybody in here, you have a great potential. It's just whether you have developed it or not, right? And the leadership alignment, very important too. Make sure that I align with the leaders, right? As we all run together, then it's much easier. And the vision as well. At the beginning, I never done business, so I had no vision. Now I have vision, right? See how the business will grow and how we can become a better us, a better team, right? And also why we do what we do. I think it's really important. At the end of the day, some people ask me, why you quit CPA? I was like, it's not really quit CPA. CPA is not just a job, right? It's just a job, but at the end of the day, we always have meaning in life. We always have meaning in life. As a CPA, what can I really do? First of all, to help others, and second, to achieve my dream, right? Can we do something better? Can we do something that really help me and also help the other family, right? And also why run for promotion, I mentioned earlier. It's mainly for the team, not really for me, right? At the end of the day, if we move the team, and then we can inspire others. So everybody would want to move together. Like when I look at Kirsty, I say, oh, they have so many guests. So it inspired me. I say, you know what? Maybe I need to have guests too. Maybe I need to inspire my team to have guests. So we have more recruits bringing in to the office, right? And later on, we moved from the Richmond Hill office to here. So this is my first ever training I've done in here, in this office. At that time, it was the smaller office, right? So see the post is so close to the wall. Later on, we moved the wall back, so we have a bigger room here, right? And also in 2017, we went to state so many times, 6-7 times for the bus trip for the elite. So this is the events that I attend. I never miss, right? So a lot of people here, you see them, they're still in the business, right? And also the Champions Bowl and the Vegas, right? So this is how every time we grow and we build. And of course, my team is still small compared to Kurt's, right? But the thing is, I see every time we grow as a team, and also we inspire each other. That's really important. And also we help out each other as well as we grow. Okay, so as you know, I usually cannot talk too long, so I'm going to bring up some of my team members so they can help me out. It's a teamwork, right? So I'm going to get welcome Michael on here. So he's going to talk about many of you have know Michael, right? So Michael is Michael and I, we met at our previous work.
Yes.
So we used to be co-workers, really close co-workers. We used to sit right in front of each other, right?
Yes.
Right next to each other in a cubicle. And we met 2012. Is it 12? Is it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's been so long. It's been so long.
Too long now.
It's been really long, right?
Yeah.
So Michael and I, we went back before I joined WFG. I know Michael. My first impression when I saw Michael is a really hardworking guy, because at that time he's working full time, and also he's helping people to file taxes on the side during tax season. And he's also a really family-oriented guy, because every time he talks about is taking his dad to a doctor's appointments, taking his mom to doctor's appointments, or helping out the family. So it's really family-oriented. And also he loves his family. The two daughters and the wife, right? He loves his family. So, it took me a while to get him in, but it's okay, because it really deserved, right? It really deserved, right? It took me a while to get him into the business. And later on, we start to work together. We start to find a good way to have the partnership. So, and of course, during the time we work together and we talk so long, and also sometimes I spend more time with him than Rocky, right? Some days. When we have appointments, when we really have appointments, right? I really witness Michael's role as well. Now we have a good team, right? So now I'll pass the stage to him and let him share.
So in my slide, I don't have a lot of history, but let me briefly tell you about my WFG history. So actually, before coming back on October 2016, I joined WMA before, but that was 20 years ago. But at that time, due to the company, the structure, I wouldn't comment anything on the past. But fast forward, I joined. This is my second stance with WMA or WFG. So this time I saw that this team has really good leadership, and that's why I stayed. So when I joined in October 2016, I already quit the full-time accounting job. At that time, I thought I should be able to manage my life just by doing taxes. I did about 650 personal tax returns every 2 months. In March and April. And then I have about 35 corporation tax accounts. So I figure I have enough fees to survive with my family. And it's because while I was working 2 jobs for 20 years, I was able to pay off my mortgage even before 2010. So money-wise, I'm okay. So that's why I quit the job. You know what, when I quit the job, the president, the CEO told me, "Oh, you're always welcome to come back. Or should we talk? Maybe we'll give you some raise." after I asked for a raise for 4 years in a row, and he never give me a penny. And then when you quit, and then he say, oh, maybe we can talk. And then I insist, I'm leaving. And then he say, oh, you're always welcome to come back. So after I quit, and then one day Christine called me to meet. That was in around July 2016. Well, after we met, after when she start talking about this thing, I already know that this is WMA/WFG. So I go home to talk to my wife, and I told her, well, I said somebody is trying to make me to go back to that business. And then you know what my wife said? Well, if you feel boring, if you don't feel that you are busy enough, well, give it another shot. Maybe you should feel regret enough because I'm too busy here. Showing up 3 times a week. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But then right now, my 2 daughters joined, and I'm so pleased. And anyway, so okay. So after August convention, I declared to the MD run. Probably do you know who does not know what MD is? It's the lower level of the SMD. So that was my second declaration. Last year, I also declared the MD one. That was August 2017 after the convention. The first time I didn't make it. It's okay. It's because they kind of changed the rule. At that time, the requirement is that you need 5 licenses. But then before, if you have referral license, that's fine. But then that year, they change it. All license has to be life license. So I didn't make it. And then to start the second run, I only have 1 associate, 1 license. Of course, they don't count my license. And then I only have 11,000 pounds, and I'm the team. So then Mabel and Anita got their license in September. Oh, hope is coming. So I got 3 licenses. And then there was 2 other teammates who promised, and there's my buddy, my longtime buddy, and my accounting mentor, promised me he will do licensing for me, even though he is not doing the business. And then the other teammate is doing licensing as well. So hope is coming. I thought I'm gonna, because Laurie kept telling me, oh, you have to do it in October. And I said, oh, hope is coming. So I think I got a chance to do it in October. And you think license processing is set. But then come October, there's a major drawbacks. Well, let me tell you what do I have this end of September. I have 1 associate, 22,000 points, and 3 licenses. And I'm hoping that the 4th and the 5th licenses are on their way. Well, by the way, you need 40,000 points. Okay, yeah, and 5 licenses, and 3 associates. What? October drawbacks. And then I didn't gain any points in October. And then the second drawback is my buddy's spouse will not let him to do the license. Saying that told him to relax, he's almost 65. Don't work. I said, I did 650 tax returns, and guess how much tax return he is doing? more than 1,000.
Wow.
What a waste. Christine and I talked to him like 2 times. And every time when we talk about something else, because I know a lot of things about him. And he said he would do it. But then when I asked Christina, because they live in Scotland, live in Minnesota, and I asked Christina to register him for the license exam. And then Christine is almost on her way. And then he called me back right away. Oh my goodness, sorry, buddy. My wife is not letting me to do it. And then to me, it really upsets me. He's such a man. And he has such a gold mine. I said, what a waste. Anyway, I don't want to affect the relationship. That's why I said that's fine. No big deal. I have about 50 guys in my team, so I'll go to another team. But even though I got about 50 people in my team, only 10% is active. So I start fresh again in November. By end of November, I go back to the drawing board. So I have 1 name, 12,000 points, and 3 licenses. And then the turning point is coming. So how do I get the 2 licenses? Bob, he's such a genius. One day I brought him out for a quick bite. And then he really appreciated for me to push him because he was in a lot of difficult financial situations too. He has a family problem and financial problem and automobile accident. He hires 3 lawyers. Okay, and then he has his job is a director in a clinical research company. And he works about 10 to 12 hours every day. Every time he comes back to a convention, he has to work until like 5 a.m. So, and then he did the 2 exams in 3 weeks. Wow. What's funny is in the last certification exam, he was doing the life insurance part. On the first exam, he only scored about 40 something, 45%. But then, and Laurie asked him, maybe you should do it another time. But then that's the only day. He has to make it that day. Otherwise, he can't write the provision. And then at 7 o'clock, he did it again. And then he scored more than 70. And he's such a genius.
In 3 hours, 2 hours, from 40 to 80%.
And then I was pushing my wife. I said, you tell me to go back. You better do it. You better do it. And then she did license in December. In between, me and her, we almost have a fight because she was tired. She has a 9-to-5 job, and then she has to pick up my mom. And then, okay, and then without asking my daughter, and she came back every week from Hamilton, from school. And then every time she saw my wife lying on the couch, doing something, I don't know what she was doing. And then she said, Mommy, you rest enough. You have to go upstairs to study. See, I silently left with my daughter. And then we got all 5 licenses in December. And then nothing.
Just see the arrow. Just the arrow.
Enter.
Use the arrow.
Okay. In December 2019, Anita saw the saw the opportunity and she did 30 in 1 month. So when I recruited Anita a year ago, she was working with she has another business like that with Market America, and then at that time she just recruited me and I just recruit her without doing anything. But then one day I go downtown and invite her for lunch, and I show her the UL, and I show her the plan, and then I explained to her about the plan because I think that the reason for me to join this business is because of the long-term care. So I show her how to make the money, and then I told her, if you make the case, you know how much money I will make, and then she saw this opportunity. So right now she got out of Market America, and then she's working with me now, and then my wife also did 30 in December. That's how I got the 3A, 5 licenses, and by the end of December I already have 36,000 points. I only need 4,000 points more to become an MD. So I wouldn't go further on the points, but in January we have more than 4,000 points. Or even more than 10,000 points in January. So basically, my MD run is a done deal. That's what I was told yesterday, and that's why I'm sharing my run. For the lesson I learned is if I have to do it again, to do the MD run again, of course not, right? My advice to you is make sure you have your structure done first. Point is always the last thing. If you don't have your structure, it won't work. The first of all, of course, is teamwork. If you don't have teamwork, one man like me, I thought I can do it all by myself in the first 2 years. But then after this run, I don't think I can do it because even though I have so many tax clients, not everybody listens and not everybody will want the plan. So to have a big team and then you introduce the plan to have them to come here for training and learn about the product, that's the easiest way. And also the importance of family support. I'm the lucky one with my wife and my daughter. And my wife, after my daughter pushed her, she got up at 4 a.m. to study. So also, besides having a full-time job, and she's also helping me to do bookkeeping for some of my tax clients. So we really push her out of her comfort zone. So before doing her licensing, she was watching the Korean drama. And not anymore, because she was so busy. So for the daughter, although she did not help anything on closing cases and licensing, but when she come home every week, her energy level really inspires me. Because even on the way home on the bus, she was talking to people, and then once she get home, and they said, "Oh, Daddy, I got 5 prospects. You want the phone numbers? You want to call them?" And she also pushes her mom to study as well. So teamwork is really important. Okay. And that's all my sharing.
Okay, thank you, Michael. I think he's one of the most humorous accountant I know, right, in my life. Usually accountants are really serious, right? So now you can see it's changed to now he can do public speaking and do presentation. Really proud of you, Michael. Very good job. So next one I want to share a little bit is Anita. So Anita joined a while ago, but we didn't really meet until a year ago, right? Finally, Michael is like, oh, let me introduce my good friend Anita here. So she became a client first. She believed in the product, and she became a client first. But later on, she kind of like shy away from the business a little bit because she's very busy. She has really busy life, and she was closing a condo and then working like a 9-to-5 job as a paralegal. But slowly we bring her into the meetings, and you can see her change. One thing really inspired me, Anita, is a few weeks back, she had an accident, so she fractured her arm, and she fractured her arm on Thursday, and we're supposed to have an appointment on Friday in Mississauga. So I talked to Anita. It's like, you know what? I talked to her, right? It's like, do we need to change the appointment or anything? I don't want to, right? Because normally if we set the appointment, I really want to go because I'm not the person who want to change appointments. And I talked to her, I said, are you okay to go, right? She's like, okay, she'll try. So she fractured her arm on Thursday. The next day she got early, she got up, and then she said, if she's okay to get up, then we will go to Mississauga. So I said, yes, we can go. So we went. And then we were joking, right? 2 handicapped. I'm a pregnant woman. she broke her arm, but we went all the way from here to Mississauga to do an appointment, right? To help a young gentleman. So that really inspired me, right? From someone who doesn't really want to show up in the meeting, who didn't want to show up in the meeting before, right? And now she's really committed, and also we even go for appointments when she's physically she's not feeling well, right? So that's a change for her. So I really want to welcome Anita to the stage so to share a little bit. And show your arm. She has really nice drawing on the arm. It's all full.
No more signatures.
No more
Thanks, Chrissy.
or you can use the enter.
I use the enter. Hi. Well, it's my first presentation. I'll make it short. Well, first of all, I want to tell you about myself a little bit. I'm now a real estate law clerk. So I used to do residential house closings, like the one, you want the key, I'll give you a key. When you sell the house, I give you a big check. One of those. Been in the field maybe over 20 odd years. Yeah. So it's like the 9-to-5 job. So I have this opportunity from Michael, my longtime accountant and friend, good friend. I've known him since 2006. He's been doing my taxes ever since, but he's a really good guy. And we go out once in a while, we chat, and yeah, and he, sorry, he tells me about his family, how his life is, and tells me how he, how he started joining this WFG. Okay, now I got registered since February 19, 2018. Actually, tomorrow will be 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. I just find it. So Michael, helped me out with this plan, and I really liked it. And especially the living benefit features. So I was so excited, and I tell my friends and families. And then I start working on my license. Now, working on my license was a little bit hard because I have a busy life. I go Zumba, I go singing classes, I have karaoke at night with friends. And then I start, taking the courses. And then summertime, I have, families from out of the country because we're wedding to go. We have new babies coming. Like, I was pretty busy, but I want to finish my license. I finally made it. November, I did it. It was hard. I had to study at night, like 10 o'clock at night, and I start opening my laptop. Okay, I'll try 2 hours. And then fall asleep. Okay, wake up again. I try again. And then sometimes I study till like 1 o'clock. But I take my time. I'm not a good student, but I try myself. Try hard. Anyways, this I found this the WFG. I can be a part-time job for me, and I can go a little less Go Train with this. What happened is this happened at the Go Train. Anyways, so it will be for a long term. It will be a nice job for me. It's part-time, whatever, and take my time. I can relax. I think it's really good for myself. And I'm so happy that I got to go to Ritz-Carlton. It's my first incentive. And I didn't even know how I got that. Anyways, I was really happy, and then seeing everybody, and everyone's so nice as a team and everybody. And anyways, my next goal, I'll try MD, but who knows when. Thank you. That's what I want to talk about. And I want to introduce Anita.
Thank you, Anita. Yeah. Not easy for her to move around. Yeah, but really appreciate. She talked about how to qualify for Ritz-Carlton. I can tell you how. On the deadline was end of November to qualify, right? So on the last day before they close, we were working at my house at the dining table until 11 p.m. Just to make sure that she can qualify. She had enough points to qualify, right? So, but the thing is, it's teamwork, right? We work together, and then we make sure that everything's good, and then she had enough points to go to Ritz-Carlton. But Ritz-Carlton is really good. The retreats are really good, right? So I like the retreats. Like Michael, you always bring your family there, and somebody pay for it. So it's really, really good. That's why your daughter is so supportive, right? That's why the family is so supportive. I think it's that's how you buy your spouse as well. Because I bring Rocky to all the events and the retreats, and of course we have a good trip, right? And at the same time that we have association with all the great leaders, and that's why I really like the trips. And next year, so this year 2020 is gone. So next year, our office will have a contest again. So make sure you stay tuned and make sure you qualify, not qualify for yourself, because you need to bring your family. So it depends on how big your family is, right? So make sure you qualify, and we'll have a good time there. So the next one I want to introduce is Alicia. So Alicia has been in the team for a while, right? And I really liked her because her personality is really good. And how she, I still remember the first day she was in BPM. That tells you how important Mosong is, right? So she stepped in here, and at the time we only have one BPM, and so she stepped in. Her background's in health, right? Health. So I introduced her to a lot of nurses in this company during the Mosong. So so she told me, right? And then later on, she went to the BPM, the corporate overview. So after she came out from the corporate overview, she told me it's like she didn't understand a word in the corporate overview, but she wanted to sign up because she met so many nurses and they're really good. And that's why I tell you, next time when you bring a guest in, make sure they don't arrive at 7:15. Make sure they arrive at 7 o'clock so they can get to know the people in the office with the similar background. So those teammates will help you to close them. So even without going to the corporate overview, she's already decided to join. So it's a really, really good leverage for me, right? So let me welcome Alicia to the stage. A really good team player, right? And also Filipinos know how to party and how to dance, right? Okay, please. And the pointer is down. Is it? Or you can enter.
Yeah. Hi, good evening. So my name is Alicia. Just to clarify what Christine said, actually the other reason that I joined right away after the BPM was Yahoo. I'm not sure if you know Yahoo. I'm not Chinese, obviously. I did not understand. I was so excited. Okay, must be good. So anyway, so that was back on February 2017.
You don't have to understand. You just say, okay, where'd you sign?
So
this is a thing that it's not about what you talk. It's about
the walk. So I was asked by Christine and Rocky. They gave me ample time because they know that I'm not very good at this. But since I've been here and I've talked to you guys so many times before, still nervous, but I'm talking. Okay. So I figured out, it took me a while too to figure out what my title is. And so you can see it's helping out in building of an SMD team and beyond. So, oops, it's backspace. Sorry. So my story. It was still like, that was me. I think I was five. That was back in the Philippines. And yeah, that was me. Once upon a time, it was cute. So I don't know what happened, but that was me. So as did Christine say, my background is in health. I'm actually a physician. I'm not a nurse, but I have nothing against about nurses, but I'm a physician back in the Philippines. I came here to North America right after, even after I finished or passed my license in the Philippines. I learned about me passing the license when I was already in the United States. I stayed in the United States for around 6 years. I was a physician assistant, and then I moved here to Canada and I went to medical research. But today's talk's not about me, it's about Christine and Rocky. So, but I want to tell you about one of my favorite sayings, and since we're Team Panda, go Uruguay. So moving forward, so as I mentioned, I started with WFG on February or March 2017. I met Rocky in a startup seminar somewhere in Vaughan, and he was talking a lot to me. I know Rocky, right? But he was, no, but I have to admit, I understood him. And I was recently laid off from my job from the medical research. I worked for 12 years, and it caught me by surprise. But what caught them by surprise too is when HR told me that bye-bye, I hugged my HR rep and said, thank you very much. And that opened up like a lot of opportunities for me. I wanted to do a lot of things in my life. So I tried to do some businesses in the meantime. I was already in WFG, but I did other things. I was a part-time. So I bought a coffee machine franchise, called it Java Genie. Didn't work. I opened a home care for seniors. I thought that I was in the population, I was my target market. People who had parents, elderly parents, who we should take care of. And I had a kid who I should take care of, as we call it, the sandwich generation. Didn't work. So my friends and I partnered up to open a sleep apnea or a CPAP machine vendor. I'm still on it, but there's more to it. And then later on in 2018, after 1 year of applying, I got a job in the federal government. Ooh, I have a stable income. So work, CPAP, WFG, so confusing, right? I don't know what to do. Come 2020. So late in 2019, I met this person, and not knowing that she will become my superstar. Well, she'll talk later, and I'll let her do her story. And she was able to recruit, and now I have a team. So 2020, I have a team. Oops. So it's looking better, looking better. Then came the Champion Bowl. This is the third Champion Bowl that I joined. And so far, I think this is the best one I've ever had. I was so inspired by the Crusades. There were stories about 3 families and how it affected 3 families who had tragedies in their lives, but since their family members had WFG policies, they were able to take care of themselves. And the other thing that inspired, the other person that inspired me, and I wish she could watch this presentation, as for you who attended the Champion Bowl, was Annabelle Ramos. Annabelle Ramos was one of the Filipino nurses who came to the stage, and she was on, she had a cane. You guys remember her?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was with her last night talking on the phone till 11:30, not realizing she's from Atlanta, that she had the same time zone as ours. I thought she was from California. So I thought like, okay, it's still early, it's 8:30. And then I thought she's from Atlanta. So she's the one in the middle. She's from John Pham's team. So she spoke of how WFG helped her in her very traumatic or very sad story. She's a nurse. She had 4 work-related injuries in 4 consecutive years. And to the point that she couldn't perform her job anymore, so she lost her job. But prior to that, she already signed up with the WFG. Hard time, she had a policy, so she was fine. So she doesn't have a job, but because she had WFG, she was able to take care of herself financially. And if make matters worse, she recently got diagnosed with breast cancer. So now, even at home, she can't do everything for herself. But she is very thankful that she has WFG policy. She has WFG, and she's working for them full-time right now. And she was telling me that, I told her, I'm so encouraged and so touched by your story, blah, blah, blah. We shared the same ethnic background. We're both in the health field. So I was really excited. But the better story there was that, oh, I have relatives in Scarborough. I want them to join. It's like, ooh, recruiters. So I think that's how I'm going to recruit people to this. I got in touch with other Filipinos in the Champion Bowl, and hopefully I'll get in touch with them. So going back, so convention over, going back home, going back to TO, going back to JOB. Day 2 from getting back from the convention, okay, I got my evaluation from my current boss from the federal government. He said I wasn't performing well, it's not up to their expectations, so I said, like, I can fire me. He said, no, we want you to improve a little, train, and whatever. He said, what's going on with you? I told him, I'm bored. There's no challenge here. So I still got the job. I still have the job. So that was day 2. Day 3 after the convention, my partners and I in the CPAP business met. oh, there's going to be dramatic changes in our OHIP benefits. Just to let you know, it's going to be a drastic change in April, which is going to affect my company or my CPAP business very, very dramatically. Financially, it's going to like really, so we're thinking of folding the company because until now we're okay. But if we go on, it's not even worth it. So federal job, CPAP business. So what do I have left? WFG. So I realized I had a lot of realization. All the things I've been doing for the past how many years while I'm in WFG have been on helping people. And I really want to be in a job that is meaningful, not that will make me bored. I want a job or I want something to do with positive environment, not people scrutinizing me, criticizing me, telling me what to do, what not to do, how to do it, why I do it this way and why I do it that way. I want something wherein I could have self-improvement, and people around me who could help me with myself and how I see things. And I don't want to quit. I really don't want to quit. And I realized that I should be with winners to be a winner myself. So where's the best place to be? So I know I should focus. I know I should be stronger than my excuses. I should never quit and be the best, and the best is yet to come. So on top of the fact that I really learned a lot in this convention, I learned a lot about my team as well. We actually had fun. I roomed with Mabel and she was so fun. Our team is growing. My superstar plus my other members, Zico and all the others. I've been trying to get in touch with my other TAs from before that have been active, and I've been trying to encourage them to join back, come back, so we can be a bigger team. And I will help everyone in our team, and even everybody in this room right now, in recruiting, licensing, registering for conventions if you need help. And I will help, especially our team, to qualify in elite classes so we can all learn together. I will challenge myself to do field training by with my team to help out with Christine, because I know she was going to be gone for a little while. And of course, I wasn't much help actually with this SMD run for Christine and Rocky, but I will be there to help them for their EMD run, CEO run, SVC run, and beyond. They never gave up on me, and I will never give up on them. Thank you, Rocky and Christine, and see you at the top.
Oh, thank you very much. Really touching. Huh? Yeah, it's always good to listen to my teammates' presentation. That's how I get to learn them a little bit more. So the next one, I want to bring up Layla. So recently we've been working very closely with Layla. I get to know her and I get to know the family. And of course, it's always good to have appointments with Filipinos because you always have food. And I'll never get hungry. And that's why I really enjoy working with them. And of course, as we get to know each other, and I know Layla has a really good heart, and I always get inspired. Always get inspired. So I want to bring her up to the stage and let her share some of her stories and her journey. And that's how you present. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here, and welcome to our Tuesday night meeting. I don't usually speak up in front of many people. I just speak inside the washroom. But you guys seem to be a very exciting people, so I am not afraid to speak in front of you. And thank you for the encouragement. So my name is Leila Arahan, and I work at the bank as a full-time employee. And before that, I've been with the bank for almost 20 years. And before that, I was in the Middle East and also in every other country I've lived on. And I came to Canada in 1994 because I was pregnant for my son. So as soon as I came to Canada, I got a job at the bank within a week. And when my employer asked me whether I can do the job, I said, just put me on the job. And so, but ever since then, I never thought that I would be just in the job, because to me, there's a lot of opportunity out there. And and for me to move on with my life and to become successful, it's never stop dreaming, never stop having a vision, never stop doing something that can make you better. And that's what I've been doing since I came to Canada. And when we came, we bought our first house, and then we sold our house, we sold the house, and many more. And financially, we are okay, but still, it doesn't stop me from becoming better of myself. And I joined Mary Kay as a beauty consultant with my full-time job at TD Bank. I got bored there, and then they said to me, okay, we're going to lay you off. I said, okay, fine. So move on. And then they said to me, oh, no, it's okay. We can carry you to the next job. And I said, okay. So I moved on with the Royal Bank, and I went to CIBC, and I went to Canada Life, I went to Clarica, I went to Buck Consultants. And then I got laid off at Canada Life. And then I was on vacation in the Philippines, and they said to me, I saw your resume in the Workopolis. Why don't you join Citibank? I said, okay. So I've been there now for 20 years, and I'm still there at Citibank. But even though I was looking for something more, so I said, what shall I do? I don't want to be a couch potato. I hate watching movie, and I hate wasting time. I want to make money. So what do? I said, look for something fun. So I opened my spa, and I said, I'm going to be a beauty consultant. I'm 60, so that's all right. And I said, I'm close to my retirement. Why don't I do something better? So I met Alicia, and that's how I joined WFG. And yes, she was an amazing person. And we met in December. So we met in December, and she said to me, why don't you come for a meeting? I said, what kind of meeting is that? I've been to all the meetings. What's new? I said, okay, never mind, let's go. So I came on, Tuesday or Saturday? Tuesday night. And right then and there, when I was sitting in that room, I said, this is all not new to me, right? I've been there, I've done that. But anyway, because she's such a nice person, why don't I do it for her? So I joined, and I said, this is pretty easy. Why everybody's thinking it is so difficult? It is so easy. Just talk to people, open your mouth and say, hi, would you like to have a UL? Whatever, right? Be natural, because you know what? If your opinion is coming from your heart, I believe that everyone you can hypnotize them. So I asked them, what are easy. So I was doing the what was that? Melaleuca. I was doing Melaleuca. It's like, you know, the holistic. And one day we had like 20 people in the room. And I said to them, you know, this is a very good product for you. You should have it. I look in their eyes. And when you look into their eyes, actually they can't hesitate you. They all join. So anyway, let's move on. What am I doing here? So, I just make fun, right?
I think you hypnotized.
Okay. Right? So to me is that like I joined because I believe. So when I joined WFG, I discussed it with my husband, my son, my daughter who's 10 years old, and they're like, okay, so mom, Christine is going to be your new boss? I said, yeah, she's going to be my new boss. And guess what? We are going to the party. We're going to the Christmas party and also bowling. I said, wow, your boss is amazing. I have to get her something. She's so nice to you. And joining WFG is makes sense. Makes sense for me, makes sense for my family, and for the future of their generations. Because not only I'm protecting them from poverty, from, you know, whatever it is, right? They are secure. When I go, I know that they will have a good future, and I don't have to worry about them. And I tell my son too. I said to him, you know what? Join WFG because this is for your future family, right? One day I'm not gonna be there, but if you have something with you, in you, you can offer that and leave it behind for your generations to come. So it's amazing. I don't know what else to say, but I can just tell you that I am so happy to be with WFG, and I don't know much about it right now, but you know what? All I did is just plug in. Kristen tells me do this, I go do it. And it's all worked out, right? It's all worked out.
That's really amazing. Wow. That's why we have fun in WFG, right? Maybe you can become a really good stand-up comedy in here. Yeah. Okay. All right. So see. Okay. So I'm gonna bring up the next person, the most important teammate in my life. My Rocky. So I've been talking about this, right? So make sure next time when you join WFG, make sure you're the one who joined first, because you can override your spouse for the rest of your life. They cannot transfer out, right? They cannot transfer. They cannot be promoted to another SMD. Right? So you can always have the lifetime to make them work harder for you, right? So you can sit at home and collect the money, right? So that's my dream, right? That's my dream. Of course, it's the most important recruit in my career too, because that's how we help each other to work together, and we build a business. At the end of the day, we not only build a business for us, right? We want to build it for the next generation, right? The next generation to come. Okay, so I'm going to bring up Rocky here.
Thanks to the most important trainer in mind. I think you can see, I think that in relation to what Christine is saying is that really we are not just building business, we're building a family here. We are building families. You can see she's pregnant. That's we were expecting, you know, WG baby, a little panda. But you guys are a family, really, extended family. You guys are, I think many of you, you know, I've seen all the knots in your head that you work together. We are like comrades. We are like, you know, soldiers of, you know, of our own, right? So I, you know, everyone's been everyone in our team was telling us, 10 minutes, what am I going to talk about? 5 minutes, that's too much. I only need one. In the end, they all took like all the time they need. But it's very fun, you know. The thing is for them, really, I think everyone needs a stage. Everyone in their life needs a stage. And this is a fantastic opportunity. I've never spoken much really in my company, all the companies I work for, really. If I do good work, pat on the shoulder. If I do great work, it's more work for them. That's how I feel, really. It's so do I want to do good work or do great work? Right? It's ironic, isn't it? But here, you want to do great. Why? Because all these families got impacted. They're telling you their family, you know, their daughters, wife, husband, Anita did not say, actually, the nephew's right here, Martin, who opened the doors for you today. Right? He was a volunteer in security. So all these related to the whole entire family, right? And later brought in the new teammate Zico, who's very committed. But this is for everyone. So I wanted to really touch upon about, all this. I think you heard the unique stories. Every one of them has their own life story. Some of them are very funny. I had no idea they're so funny. I think we can form a new stand-up comedy club for sure. Right? So you can see, sellers are really trained at sea, not at shore, right? So that's why we really need to go out there to do field training to help people. Sitting here is fantastic. Two hours, you got informed, you got all the valuable information and feedback, right? But if you don't use it, you don't help others, that's not going to make any impact or influence, right? And our life, I mean, many the story is very touching. The Annabelle story that Alicia was sharing, as somebody in that stage of life, what do we expect? It's hope that we're providing beyond the money and beyond the experience we have. It's hope. So I wanted to talk about, summarize what really the takeaways from our SMD run really. The first and foremost, really take ownership. Take ownership the moment you come in here. Maybe it sounds a little bit serious, but hey, when do you not take ownership? You own your car, you own your house, right? Sometimes you say you own your kids. But it's more like on the other way, they own you, right? And I already learned it before my child because I already learned it from the baby, Also, you can be team player, you can volunteer, you can have ownership because you share part ownership, right? That's how the easiest way to volunteer, you help out, right? And I want to talk more about with a lot of corporate people. And how many people work for a company other than WG, right? Many of us, majority in fact, right? Some are self-employed or your business. But if you work, either you have a manager, you're a manager, right? It's a manager. It's a position leadership. It's not a true leadership. What we are here is leading by example. Like Lori, day in and day out. When do you not see Lori? If Lori is not in the office here doing appointment, she's out there driving towards an appointment or inside an appointment in someone's house. Kneecaps, you call it, right? So it's really, really inspiring. I think, we were very lucky, Christian and I were very lucky. Early on, we had Lori as our trainer. We went out with her many times. Most of my appointments were not successful in actually having somebody sign because I did not do a really good job as a trainee. So we are learning. So that's why that connects to the next point. Stumble forward. Even though, I hear a lot of stories like Linda, when she was talking how many times she did the paperwork. Same for us. We made a lot of mistakes. We made mistakes with ourselves. Our paperwork, our recruiting website doesn't work, right? I think more important is the interacting with teammates. At the beginning, we didn't know how to really lead a team. We were not ready. We stumble a lot. In fact, we sometimes step on a lot of tails or on some hot buttons that really, not the hot button that have to then to sign and join, but the hot buttons, sometimes one too many. We touch upon. Sometimes, there's conflicts in the team or working with people who are new to you or new in the business. They may not be, led, they may be managed. So they don't know what to do. They want you to tell them what to do, right? But sometimes you go to tell them in a different way. You don't manage them. You don't manage. Nobody's managers here. We are leaders. So we lead by example. I think that's the best way. And secondly is learn how to communicate with them more effectively, efficiently. I think we learned so much. I think we have so many people in the past that we've literally killed them, but not really. You know what I mean? So a lot of people maybe we have some relationship crisis occasionally even, right? But we have to stumble forward because that is the way when we started new, we are mechanically working, it's like when you do the invitation, you make a phone call, the phone is so heavy, like 10 pounds, right? But when you talk, say, Alicia's story is excellent. Because she did tell me, I was sitting down with her actually, when she came out from the PPM, she said, I had no idea what Yahoo was talking about. But I said, that information is useful though, right? She said, yes, so sign here. So basically, she took her credit card out, but it's electronic, so didn't really sign, right? It's electronic. She actually brought her credit card out before I actually asked her to pay. Because the make up mind, it's because the information is useful to people. Doesn't matter what you say to them. I love Lori told me like a million times, you never say the wrong thing to the right people. That's a million times. Have you guys not heard from her? Almost every day she says that, right? So that's important. The stumble forward, but there's one thing you can always count on is your trainer. It's the trainer who brought you in here, the leader. If it's not this trainer, there must be other trainers you can look up to. You can help you out. There's so many people unselfish, Stephen, Garman, George, everybody here is very helpful, right? So believe in the system, believe in the trainer is so important. Even you are stumbling, somebody is going to hold you and or not hold your hands, hopefully not, but at least give you a landing hand, right? And somebody can lean on when you really need help. Because the trainer has the most interest in your success. Because if you are not successful, trainer will not be successful. Why would the trainer not be want the best out for you? It's unlike the managers. If you are getting better, you at the point at his level or better, he or she may not want you to be at the same spot because the pyramid climbing in a corporate is narrow, right? The bridge there's only one way. But here is, if you pull out more people, we help more people, everybody's successful, you become successful. I always believe in the same very early on with Christine is that if we help our teammates get to what they want, we get what we want. That's very important. So it both is a win-win situation, right? So I mentioned about the team building and duplication. I think we start seeing, this is people all have their own, personality, characteristic, and way of doing things. But how do you help them to have, it's like I call it a train track. Most of them, when they just started, they're outside the train track. How do you get them onto the train track so they can go as fast as us? Go with the train, right? They're outside wandering. How do we pull them onto here? It's through the system. Only when you believe in the trainer and the system here that you can go fast. It's like Leia was saying that she doesn't know much of what's going on, but she's going fast. She's already become an associate in the second month that she joined, right? She had four recruits and opened up 3 cases already, right? So it tells you really, if you want to go fast, go together. If you want to go far, if you want to go far, right? If you want to go fast, go alone. Another thing I want to really talk about is the couple power. That's pretty much my last point really. It's alignment between the 2 people. I see a lot of you come together. It's a new couple there, right? You come together. How do we create a couple power? Is 1 + 1 not just equal 2? Sometimes it's less than 1. Sometimes it's negative, if you know what I mean. So how do you make sure 1 + 1 is more than 2? It's how we work together. At the beginning, Christian and I even ourselves have some conflicts at the very beginning, how we build teammates, who's the go-to person, who's the main trainer, who does what. And gradually we work better and better as we learn it in the business. It's how we work together, like two wheels go together. How we do that, it takes time. It takes more patience. It's not the same as you working at home towards your kids, doing house chores or make a decision, buy a house. It's very different. It's how we build a business together. WG allows you to work together. 1 + 1 is way more than 2. It's compounding effect. So you guys know that. I think we went through the stages of these up and downs already. But in the end, you really need to come to an agreement. I think communication is the key. We talk not just outside WG, but in teamwork at home. I think it's the right word for it. How do you work together? Yeah. And also, I wanted to mention that a lot of a couple of things, there's always one person who takes the lead. Yes, it's true. You want the teammate to be sure who's the main person to be leading. That's correct. However, but in a couple, the second person or the spouse does not have to be the inactive person. I feel if I not have the ownership early on, I don't think we will reach the success we have now. I'm not saying how much I've contributed, but how we actually work together well, because I took ownership early on as well. You know, there should be some sacrifice from the teammate themselves, you know, and also we share duties. There are a lot of things we share. For example, I'm the cheerleader of the team, right? She's very good because she's a CPA. She has some finance background, right? It's very good. She closes cases, very good, natural for her. So we use that strength. So we don't have to. So we have to use our strengths, because most couples, if you know what I mean, 1 + 1 = 2 or more than 2, it's when they exemplify they complement each other, right? You notice, you guys, two of you, you look at each other, you complement each other. So that's why we also grow up together in WG, because we grow up, we grow as a couple together. It's very important. Now, last thing for your thoughts is, choice is yours, really. Do you want to be sheltered at the harbor or out sailing, right? Do you want to just stuck at shore? Excellent, beautiful boats, but you know, fishing boats or sailing boats, but they're best when they are out at sea. Same as one flight is best not at tarmac, but out in the sky, right? So I think our identity, as you see, our identity has changed as a team, right? I wanted to be along with Christine and the team, we want to create change and also be the rising tide that lifts all boats. That's why I often say this: rising tide raises all boats. Because why? That's why we want everyone. If we all go to the next level together as a team, that makes the best impact, the most impact in our own life and our teammates' life, and also other families that we helped, right? So that's the closing, and yeah, thank you very much. Okay.
I borrow some time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Excellent training. Excellent. I don't need the microphone. It's okay. Excellent training. Yeah. I know that we're over time, so Tuesday we're supposed to finish at 8:45, but everybody so enjoy it, so we don't mind the time. You know, you guys can talk. You know, really good. I mean, wonderful sharing. I should do this.